welcome once again to East Peoria Raider football. Ben back in the saddle tonight, back with us tonight. So we are here and ready to watch homecoming 2014. And the Pekin Dragons are in town. Pekin, the team that gave up a whole ton of offense just a week ago. Raiders were handed their first loss just a week ago. So on paper, it looks good for East Peoria. They're 3-1 coming to this ball game, but you never know. It's why they play the game, and this should be interesting, Ben.
Yeah, first off, thank you for the kind welcome back from Snow Globe Con 2014.
Canada, eh?
Yeah, Saskatoon, always a great place to be. Yeah, this should be a pretty even game tonight on paper. You know, we're looking at a team in Pekin that gave up 647 yards of offense a week ago to Canton. Canton, a team that likes to run the ball a lot. They're very balanced, but their bread and butter is running the ball. Gave up a 2 TD lead in that one late as well. So Pekin coming in at 1-3 overall, 0-2 in the Middle Illini, while our Raiders come in at 3-1 overall, 1-1 in the Middle Illini. And we'll see how this one shakes out here as we get ready to kick her off.
Not too dissimilar to the Limestone game in the fact that they're very similarly structured. They both like to run the ball, keep the clock moving, and as a result, typically a fast-moving football game.
I think we'll see the ball in the air a lot tonight from the guys in white. Can't quite see a number on our kicker. It looks like number 75, which we do not have a 75. Is that a 74?
It's better than Limestone. It's better than white.
Absolutely.
On white.
Absolutely. Maybe a 76. 76, I believe. Alex Rippey, yes. Alex Rippey. And we are underway.
Kick's taken to the 20, up to the 30, a little juke action, and he brings it out to the 36, 37-yard line, and that's where Pekin will begin this contest. 1st and 10, Dragons with the ball to start this game.
Brett Dooley on the return there, and a nice little return by him. Took it about the 18 and ends up about the 32, 33-yard line. I actually call that the 36, 37, so doubled his money there. Looking at the Raider defense here to open the game. We've got our line of Carson Kleiber, Derek Sparkman, Dalton Clicker, and Justin Doty. We'll get to the rest of the bunch here in just a second.
And we are underway. First offensive snap of the game goes right up the middle of the football field, across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Pick up about 4 yards.
And we've got a Raider down already. A young man holding that left arm on the pile. Can't get a number on that. Dalton Clicker checking on a teammate there. Let you know as soon as we get a number. While we're waiting for Sarah McDaniels to work her magic there, let's run through the rest of the defensive starters. Our linebackers tonight, Joey Inman, Jacob Lovell, Bryce Sandoval, Trey Brabson. Cornerbacks are Carson Allen and Jake McCartney, and the free safety will be Tyler Sharp. Defense has been pretty good so far. Did give up 33 last week at Dunlap, but Dunlap is a very unique team with some good athletes. The Mangieri brothers, of course, have a long tradition of being very good. Ooh, that is not good. That is number 51, Derek Sparkman, down there on the turf, our starting defensive tackle and left tackle. We'll hope that was just a stinger. Spark might have gotten doubled up there on the opening play. We'll hope he can come back. Looks like he's all right, getting over to the sideline a little bit, squeezing his hand. I think that's just going to be a stinger.
So we reset. Pekin out of that shotgun. Again on the run.
There's the shotgun, and that's going to be, I believe,
breaks a couple tackles.
Fuller.
Across midfield. Raider territory down to the 48-yard line.
Number 19, Sebastian Fuller there. He comes in as their leading rusher. Big gain there for about 16 yards. Fuller comes in with 73 carries, 347 yards for 4.8 a carry and 3 touchdowns.
Always tough out of that shotgun when you're starting 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage to get positive yardage. Good blocking by the Dragons.
You know, I was sold on running out of that when Pat Ryan at Metamora finally discovered he could run out of the shotgun. When I saw that, I figured he could do anything. And I should point out across the way that it appears the Pekin student section is on fire. I'm not going to
Does appear to be smoke.
I'm not going to make any assumptions about what that may be, but we should probably show him the PSA. Fuller again on the carry, cuts to the right, and he is going to take this one to the house.
Take it in for the score.
48-yard touchdown run by Sebastian Fuller. And the Dragons are on the board early, 6-0. 10:57 to go here in the opening quarter. Boy, he hit that hole and he cut right and he was gone. He had nothing but free space between him and the hash mark.
So Pekin draws first blood here at homecoming for East Peoria.
Not bad when you're 2 carries for 68 yards.
That's a fair average.
Is that good? Number 1, Shea Ghostman on to kick the extra point there. Left-footed place kicker. You don't see that very often, but Ghostman puts it through the uprights, and we are down 7-0 here with just a little over a minute gone in this game. We'll see what Josh Johnson has in mind here, along with Jason Bally, his special teams coordinator.
You almost come up with the amount of points they put up last week, and East Peoria is certainly capable of scoring quickly as well with some athletes and speed on the offensive side, but you expected at some point a big play. Certainly hoped it wasn't quite as quick as this one occurred in this game, but probably not the last big run we've seen tonight for either side.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This could very well turn into a very back-and-forth basketball-esque game before it's all said and done.
Nice crowd for both sides in the stands tonight.
It really is. I haven't seen the far side of East Side packed in a long time.
That kick's going to go out of bounds, well out of bounds. At least one flag on the play.
I heard our announcer, Corby Kleiber, say there might be an offside as well, but clearly you take the kicking penalty because you start with pretty good field position there, so we'll see what Josh Johnson decides to do here. Looks like he is going to take the ball. And the Raiders will start at their own 35.
A flurry of mocking jeers going back and forth. You can't kick it.
Oh, pardon me. We are going to kick it again. Josh Johnson.
We'll see. Can he kick it in bounds?
Stay tuned next week, Raider fans.
Well, pretty good field position if you're East Peoria, gambling a bit.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt to take this gamble. I mean, it puts them back to 35. You got to figure they're going to set their feet. Right now they're at about the 12.5-yard line. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come for the 20 to field that. So if you can, and Josh Johnson signaling him up right now. He wants everybody to come up. Unfortunately, nobody's seeing him. They did come up to about the 18-yard line, but if I'm them, I'm setting my feet right there. I wouldn't be surprised to see the up man get this kick. I believe that's Caden DeVos. I'm not 100% sure on that, but
Ghostman's left-footed kick is true this time. It's not a bad little kick down to the 14-yard line, scooped up.
There's Caden, and Caden's got a seam. Just refusing to be tackled. My goodness.
Takes about 8 Dragons with him up to the 45-yard line. I think he carried them 10 yards.
Easily, 10 to 12. What a great return by Caden DeVos. Must be the inspirational film he watched in U.S. history today.
Clearly.
Well, we'll see what the Raiders have in store. I can almost promise it's not passing, considering Josh Spokley's attempted all of 8 on the year through 4 games.
Good chance at a run.
Yeah. If I were a betting man. Bryce Sandoval.
And it's up the gut. Breaking some tackles again.
First carry there to fullback Trey Brabson. Pekin's number 6, Noah Justy on the tackle there. Brabson grinds ahead for about 3. He's going to be key. I mean, that's as much as, we talk about this being a back and forth game. Josh Johnson has no illusions about what he wants to do. He's going to try to keep this on the ground and just keep grinding you down. Brabson again.
There it is.
Nice carry. Boy, he hit that right over the right tackle there.
Brabson up to the 41-yard line. First down. Moving the chains.
Great carry by Trey there. That's a great job. Derek Sparkman is back in the game, by the way, there at left tackle. You can see he's put a brace or something on that left elbow. I wonder if that elbow popped or hyperextended maybe on that play. And there goes Trey Brabson again.
First straight carries up to the 36-yard line. Picks up half the distance he needed, so 2nd and 5 for East Peoria, marching towards a potentially tying score here.
The Raiders will rotate their backs pretty easily. I think I counted something like 19 different ball carriers on the stat sheet so far this year. Just something amazing. I mean, there's Sandoval in motion again. And they're going to go right back to Brabson, same play. Uh-oh, that ball on the turf. It is not. Thankfully, Trey holds on there.
Nothing there that time. Reset, might have lost a yard, 3rd and 6.
Tackle by Cody Hawkins of Pekin there. Looked like Hawkins might have jarred that loose a little bit. Thankfully, Trey smart enough to cover up that ball and keep control. This is the kind of situation you have to avoid if you're a running team. 3rd and maybe 6, long 7.
Knocking on 2-down territory.
That is true, though. Yes, you are looking at 2 downs. Boy, same thing right to Trey Brabson. And we're going to have a face mask, I believe.
Penalties coming in.
Brabson,
flags coming in, yep.
Nice carry up there near the first down marker. I think the face mask is going to put us over the top here. And Trey needs a break. Looking right at the sideline and signaled in, and that's going to bring
that's going to be a personal foul face mask. That'll be the big one.
Yeah.
And that will put them in really good shape down here into the red zone. We're close to.
Crowd mic sounding great tonight.
It is sounding good.
Some good old-fashioned hate between these schools.
Long history of dislike.
That's going to set the Raiders up at about the
16-yard
line. Yeah. Jacob Lavelle, by the way, in for Trey Brabson.
I would have expected a heavy dose of Lavelle tonight, and we'll see how that plays out as the game goes on. As you mentioned, any number of almost interchangeable parts in that.
Ooh, a little reverse there, number 14.
Holy wide open, Batman.
You can't get much more wide open than that. Number 14, Jake McCarty taking the flip and finding number 80, who we do not have on the roster. I'm pretty sure that young man probably could have caught 3 different balls in the time it would have taken for a Pekin defender to get there.
It's like almost in basketball, though. You get so wide open, you want to make sure you do deliver the pass. And kick is good to tie the football game at 7 with 8:11 left to go, first quarter.
Carson Richardson there with the extra point. You know, that's the one thing I've kind of been waiting on to see what Josh Johnson would do if he was going to have to open up that playbook a little bit, and I think you're going to see that as we get deeper into the Middle-Illini season. He hasn't shown everything yet. I mean, we saw that on the first drive. Trey Brabson left, Trey Brabson right for about the first 6 carries of the game. You know, the players were telling me in week 2 against Collins they ran a total of 4 plays.
Just different plays.
Yeah. Yeah. Tackle
pretty
right,
conservative.
Tackle right, tackle left, dive, and sweep, and that was it.
With great success, though, in that game.
With a lot of success in that
game. Why mix it up if you are finding success in those 4 plays? But you're right. I mean, there's some heavyweights that are sitting in the schedule.
Oh, absolutely. And
in this conference.
They've all, you know, the whole Middle-Illini is on huddle now, so there's no secrets. You're not trading film anymore.
Line drive kick.
Taking about the 25, gets hit by his own man, finds a seam still.
He is going to find a seam.
That ball almost came out.
Up to the 45-yard line. Great start to the field position for the Dragons on this drive.
That's going to be twice. They've had pretty good starting field position. I'd like to see him correct that just a little bit.
Obviously, the state-ranked Panthers, Washington in the conference. We've got Metamora, seems to be back on their feet.
Newly state-ranked as of this week.
And we'll see how much of that, obviously a big jump in beating Washington, but we'll see tonight, I guess. We'll find out a little bit more about both them and Canton, who is sitting at 3-1 themselves.
Pekin trips right here, 3 receivers to the right. They're going to get I believe they're going to jump offside there. Dalton Quicker, the nose guard, might have gotten a little bit of a head start.
Limestone game largely penalty-free. Not a lot of flags in that ball game. We've had a couple here tonight.
Speaking of that Canton-Metamora game, Metamora leads 14-0 with 9:16 to go in the first quarter.
Really expected Canton to hang in a bit in that. Obviously, the end result not likely to favor the Little Giants.
Fuller again. I suspect we'll see a heavy diet of Sebastian Fuller tonight as well. He's a little guy. He's going to be hard to pick out. Pekin's got some big boys on that line. Also, you're going to want to pay attention to the no huddle, folks. We'll see how they handle that, but
and how much on their heels they're going to get quickly in this one.
Exactly. Well, and we have a steady diet of players going both ways.
Open field tackles are going to be big. Little step gets him 6-7 more yards in the play.
Did the right thing there. Brett Dooley caught that ball, turned over the outside shoulder, and had a little room to operate, and he cut back in off the over pursuit. That's another 6-7 yards easy before the cavalry catches up to you there. So going to have to be sure tackling, which is kind of ironic because we came in with 2 very good tackling corners in McCartney and DeVos, leading the team in tackles, actually.
Dragons no huddle again.
Looks nice team there.
His second read down the field. Gets it up to 88.
That's Elijah Henson. That's the leading touchdown receiver in the Peoria area. 6 touchdowns, leads all the big schools in the Peoria area, according to the stats compiled by Lonnie Schwindenhammer at the Peoria Journal-Star.
Man in
sweep
motion.
here, yep, crossbuck sweep, number 11. He's going to get knocked out about the
Positive
9.
yardage.
Connor Eubanks on the carry there. Still not quite in goal territory. 2nd and about 6. They could end up with a 1st and goal from about the 4 here, it looks like.
So the Dragons technically not in a huddle, but certainly taking their time.
Taking more time than you would normally in a no huddle. I've never really understood that. If you're going to do that, you might as well get everybody on the same page, eliminates any route confusions.
Right
Fuller up the middle.
Fuller denied right at the goal line. He is going to
nice job by Trey Brabson and Bryce Sandoval to deny him the goal line.
pick up the first down, 1st and goal. They've had a short field here, 1st and 5 after that penalty. Big return on, well, not a big return, but a good field position to start the drive.
Yeah.
And it makes it a challenge on your defense.
Go under center there. He's going to be denied the first time.
Second effort still short, I think.
Nice job by Carson Kleiber to get in there and try to take that ball away to keep him from wrenching over the top. Getting off the bottom of the pile there, Derek Sparkman. Got to hope his elbow's not taking too much.
Interestingly conservative there. They've had success running the ball from the tailbacks, running backs, going up the middle on that one with the keeper. We'll see what this one brings. Handoff, almost mishandled it in the backfield, but he punches it in for the score.
Fuller takes that one
Fuller
in again.
13-7.
5:37 now, so we've had 3 scores in a matter of the first,
7-ish, 6.5 minutes?
6.5 minutes of this
Not
game.
Not great math, but I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. You didn't have dinner reservations anywhere, did you?
I did not. No.
We could be a while. Ghostman on again.
Dinner is in front of me, in fact.
That delicious popcorn. Oh, a block kick. Nice effort there. I didn't see who laid out for that one. Number 14 for the Raiders. Great effort there by Jake McCartney. So he's thrown a touchdown pass and come away with a block kick there.
Very nonchalant block. Just I blocked it. Yeah, I'm off.
You know, he is a very nonchalant young man. There was a pause during the student assembly today, during the pep assembly, for Jake to ask his his girlfriend to homecoming. Nothing like the last minute. I'm not sure if he was in the doghouse for waiting that long, but she did accept the flowers. So I'm assuming he wasn't too deeply in the doghouse for that.
That is tight. That's a little tight. That's cutting it close a bit.
Well, you know, I think there was a little showmanship involved. There was a pause, and he had stashed the flowers with some of the teachers. So
it's all about how you sell yourself with that nowadays.
Exactly.
It's quite the big ordeal.
Exactly. Jake also part of one of the better skits on the variety show on Wednesday night, so he's been a busy man this week. Osman's kick might go out of bounds again. Just going to feather down at the 20. Caden DeVos spins off one. He's still going. Boy, there are some bodies flying down there. Holy cow. Number 10 from Pekin diving right at Caden DeVos. That was Cole Genesi there, taking his best shot at Caden DeVos, and Caden weathering the storm and popping right back up.
So the Raiders, with that next extra point, now an opportunity to maybe punch it ahead and take the lead on this drive. Haven't had a punt yet.
No,
we are early. We're still early.
Sweep to
Little
number
sweep this
23,
time.
Bryce Sandoval, and he's got a little bit of the corner there. He's going to take it for about, 5 yards, maybe 6. Give that to the Raiders. You know, they've really only had one play that didn't go for much yardage, and I think that was still positive yardage at that, at 1 yard. So they're doing what they need to do here. Just going to be a matter of maintaining this over the course of the game. Tight wing set now. Spokley hands off. I think that's
right up the middle.
Lovell. Indeed, Jacob Lovell. Up the middle for gain of a couple.
3rd and 5 now, one of them.
Give him one there. It's going to bring up 3rd and left, right in that 4, short 5 range. McCartney split to the left here. Traditional triple wing. That's Caden DeVos in motion. Spokley going to roll right with Dalton Clicker leading the way on the block. Spokley going to keep it himself. We're going to have a flag on the play, though, there in the backfield. I hope they didn't get Dalton Clicker hold.
Yeah.
I didn't see the camera cut off right as Dalton was coming around that corner. It looked like he might have gotten the left hand out there trying to get a piece of the right arm of the Pekin defender just to keep him from getting around the corner. And sure enough, that is going to be a hold as the referees explain it to Pekin's defensive captain. Number 51, Trey Nelms there. Indeed. So Pekin's going to take that penalty. We're going to be looking at 3rd and, oh my goodness. Let's see, first down is on about the 38, and we are on the 14. So we'll call it 3rd and 24 for the Raiders here. 4:30 to go in this first quarter. Not sure if Josh Johnson has anything in the bag of tricks here, but he sends Josh Spokley in with the play call. Wouldn't be surprised to see Josh take a chance here and just run this thing up the gut a little bit, try to make the safe play. It's going to be a sweep around the left end. That's Caden DeVos. Caden cutting it back towards the middle, just not finding much room to run there. He's going to be dropped about the 18-yard line. So
good pursuit by Pekin, and they are going to come up with the stop that they needed. And once again, they are going to get some pretty good field position out of this.
See our first punt of the evening.
Cursed us. I jinxed our good fortune.
Just to be clear, that is Matt Robinson speaking that jinxed the Raiders.
Just to be clear, you can follow me on Twitter.
Without throwing anyone under the bus. Beep, beep, beep.
Noise you hear is.
Lovell gets off a punt line drive, taking it to Pekin 45.
Gives it a tough time for your defense to
that didn't give the defense much time at all, though. Kudos to the Raiders for, only giving up about 8 yards on that return. So, but they are still going to start deep in Raider territory at about the 36.
You mentioned the rivalry. We don't see a lot of chippiness at this point. Both teams have conducted themselves on the field in an appropriate manner, so you always have that in the back of your mind, concern that everybody's saying it's an emotional game, and you get in emotional situations where you want to win, and not everybody's going to have that success. So far, so good for both sides.
Absolutely. And the interesting part about that is social media has made everything chippy these days.
Mm-hmm.
No longer is it, just a town like one town over. It's uh-oh. Who are we going to have looks like the face mask is going to be on Pekin. I'm not sure where they're taking this thing.
Well, the trigger, they were down on the floor, a little bit there on the field, a bit longer than, and some words were spoken, but it is a contact sport, and there's going to be some of that.
Oh, there's going to be emotions. There's no doubt. That's the very nature of this sport. That's how you have to be to play this game, as Jim Hagedorn said in his Hall of Fame induction speech. You have to play the game with a certain edge or intensity to be successful, and sometimes things happen when you do that.
Well, and the instantaneous, media that we live in now is you have these guys at the height of their emotion with a microphone shoved into their face, and we're shocked that Richard Sherman would do things that are emotional and loud and boisterous when he's fired up on emotion and adrenaline. It's years ago, we wouldn't have approached that situation.
No.
Let people have some space, calm down, and then talk to them. And we need that instant reaction of every little moment of every little game anymore.
Timeout taken by Josh Johnson there. It's interesting you bring that up with the immediacy of the reactions. It's because they do that. They'll interview somebody like Richard Sherman on the field, and they go, oh, my goodness, he said this. But then after that, he gets like a mandated 30-minute cooling off period. Speaking of cooling off period, you see Josh Johnson pretty fired up down there. Josh trying to inspire the defense a little bit and make sure everybody's on the same page. Clearly not real pleased with the Raider defense right now, and they have been gashed a little bit for some easy yardage. So we'll see if they stiffen their backs here and can dig their heels in out of a pretty tough starting point. Not in their own territory. The face mask penalty set Pekin back into their own side of the hash, but this is going to be a very
it's an important drive as we wind things down in the first quarter.
This is a big one, there's no doubt.
You can keep opening it. I want to see if it blows up right here. I only shook it 7 or 8 times coming up the stairs.
And that
Cross
is Mr.
midfield,
Fuller again.
Fuller again. He's going to take it down. Well, we're getting a little more extracurricular down there, down to the 46-yard line. Pekin continuing it's not, I don't know if you're technically, by definition, it is a no huddle.
It is, because they're not huddling, but at the same time, they are taking that extended look over the sidelines to get the play.
Here's a snap. Right up.
Boy, and they are just working that seam route out of the trips. Catch there by number 88. Elijah Henson.
Henson again. And
he looks bigger than 6'2", 180. He looks like he could be, in that 200, 210 range as a tight end size guy. Trey Brabson coming off again, by the way. I don't know if he's just a little winded from the offensive series or what, but we'll monitor that. Keep that in mind with the
and you don't want Henson into a rhythm at this point in the game either.
No. And there
breaks
goes
some tackles again. Second effort. Nice ball movement. Switches the arms to get it. Maintain possession. Jasper.
Nice job on the run there.
To the 15. Chains move. Clock rolls. Coming up on 2 minutes left to go. Pekin is on their third drive and knocking on the door of their third score. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
And Ghostman looks like he can kick. Now, they blew that trap play up right there, but look at that. Fuller still gets 5-6 yards. That was a great job I don't know who that was that shot the gap there and blew up the pulling guard, but boy, Fuller just ran right through that hole anyway. I mean, somebody wasn't, the linebackers were definitely not scraping along the backside there to clean that up, because I think that might have been Dalton Clicker. I'm not 100% sure on that. Him or Carson Kleiber that blew that up at the guard, but goodness gracious, somebody's got to be there to fill that hole. Just going to throw a fade here, looking for Henson.
Henson, and that was thrown without his even looking up. It was a timing pattern.
And he's still got a left hand on that.
Almost got it anyway.
If he could have got more of a hand on that, I'm betting he pulls that in. So that was a bullet dodge there. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Raiders. Defense here to need a stop. See Carson Allen there out of corner, one of our seniors, savior in week 1. Ooh, got him to jump right there. Now that is a little distrusting. You see that he gets under center, and then he backs out, pulls out like he's going to start the play, and he's looking for the audible.
Comes right side this time, and another broken tackle. And another score for the Dragons.
Jake McCartney just couldn't hold on there. A little looseness in the hips there by Dooley, and he just wriggled out of that and right into the end zone. And again, it's nothing fancy. I mean, he's catching that ball just like he's supposed to and breaking over the outside shoulder. And the Raiders playing a little bit of soft zone there, and when you do that, when that ball comes out, you gotta drive forward hard.
Early here, but it looks like Pekin's going to attempt to try a two-pointer.
Looks like they're going to try to get that missed extra point back. Double tight shotgun. Just going to roll right.
I don't know if he had control. We'll wait and see. It does not
appear
he had control.
Dooley was juggling that as he went out of bounds, so if there's a saving grace, that's it right there.
Missed a couple extra points, still 19-7. Dragons trying to rain on the Raiders parade here to homecoming this year. Beautiful night. Nice weather night. Did not have nice weather to start our football season. I don't ever remember consecutive weeks of that much crazy lightning storm almost everywhere kind of weather.
Yeah, and that was the interesting part. You know, we're obviously off that second Friday night, but that first Friday night we sat up here in the booth and really just kept waiting for Thor to go off here at Corning-Clatt Stadium. We were shocked when it didn't, right up until the end. So an interesting start to the year so far. Of course, we might need to go back to that because that's when we had most of our success.
True.
I would take a rainstorm right now. That tends to play into a ground and pound team's favor. That ball
it's going to go out of bounds on the other side.
Yes,
so
it is.
Second kick out of bounds tonight.
Smart choice by Caden DeVos there to gauge the momentum on that ball and let her go. Let's see what Josh Johnson does with this. Last time he made him kick, I'm not sure what he'll decide to do here.
Looks like they're just going to take it.
Yeah, they are going to roll it from here. Josh with some last-minute instructions there and sends the boys out. Should point out that the Raiders are a little banged up, missing tight end Evan Betts. Suffered a knee injury at Dunlap last week. Had like 4 knee injuries on the turf over there at Dunlap, so not sure what the deal is there. Trey Brabson again, nice run. He's been pretty successful racking up the yardage on that same play, both sides, between the guard and the tackle there.
Turf is that cycle of never ending what's best for the players and what's most economical, and we all went to AstroTurf for a while and realized that was carpet on concrete. And they now seem to have perfected that or certainly advanced that technology
it has gotten
significantly.
A lot better.
But you still always wonder what's better than the natural surface.
Absolutely.
Pick up of about 3 on that play. He'll be short of first round. Brabson.
Nice job by Trey there to stiff arm the first defender there to the ball. He was fighting for every bit of the yardage there. That's going to leave us at about 3rd and 3. Raiders really need to convert this one. looks like our line might be dragging a little bit there. You see Carson Clapper and Dalton Quicker both hands on the knees there and sucking air maybe. Although, as they pointed out on Hard Knocks this year, there's no good oxygen down there. So, got to get up, get in the wind.
Flipping the backfield.
Again. He's got a lane.
Be a gap for a Raider first down, I think.
Nice carry by Bryce Sandoval there.
Yep,
nice job by Dalton Quicker to get downfield. Dalton Quicker with the pulling guard on that one from the right side. He was out in front clearing Trey some room, or pardon me, clearing Bryce some room down there. Nice job. Not often you get to see one of those lineman numbers way downfield doing some road grading. Whistle there by the officials. Nobody called timeout, at least as far as I can see. Oh, just resetting it here. Pekin with 8 in the box right now, just daring the Raiders to run. And Trey Brabson trying to bounce it to the right.
That's going to be the last play of the first quarter. As the Raiders trying to punch it up past midfield. That'll signal the end of, still missed the starter's pistol. And that's the end of quarter number 1. Pekin leading your Raiders 19-7. Back with the second quarter after this.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Play-by-play then. Okay. And we are back here at Corwin-Corning-Clatt Stadium as Matt Robinson and I try to get back in the swing of things here, since our schedules have been more disjointed than I don't even know what's disjointed. That's where we're at, folks. We've got to get back in the swing here.
So East Peoria looking to cut into that Dragon lead. He's going to roll right.
Nice job by Josh Boker there to evade two gentlemen who had very bad intentions trying to run him down, and completes the pass to number 33.
Just that falling forward picks up an extra couple of yards at the end of that play.
Senior Tyler Sharp there, the running back and defensive end, with a nice catch, and that's going to move the chains.
Be 3rd and 4. Another big play in this drive.
I was clearly mistaken on moving the chains. I just have to say kudos to our crew. That's a great great crowd mic. I've never been able to hear the kids like this before.
Man in motion. It's the pitch into the backfield. Not a lot of football field on this side, but he breaks
he's got
that
some
tackle
room,
and cuts back to the middle. All the way down to the 16-yard line.
What a great job by Tyler Sharp. Some good vision there. Found a seam, cut back. Nice spin out of a tackle, and that's a big play, which is what the Raiders have sorely been lacking here since their opening drive.
Make it the 19. Knee goes down before the roll forward. But the Raiders are inside the territory of the 20-yard line and back in business here. Talked about the big plays. East Peoria with their biggest of the night so far right there. Trying to shift some momentum. Equally important, trying to get that defense a few more moments on the sidelines. Those that aren't already out there.
Yeah, and that's the bad
challenge.
Part. Gonna have to change it up here a little bit. You know, Trey Brabson had some success early with the looked like the dive and the veer, but boy, he has not found running room lately, and they are
onto that after that first drive.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, they have done a nice job. If you look at it, I think they've gone to a 50 front with 3 linebackers, so 5 down linemen and 3 linebackers. That's a lot of people to move around in the box. You gotta get some work out on the edges there, and some counter stuff like that, some misdirection to get some of those people moving in the wrong space.
Well, and you need some size on your line, too. I mean, you can see just physically looking at your screen, Pekin's got some size. Raiders
Looks
looking
like
for some of that speed to take advantage.
Caden DeVos with a carry there. He's going to take it down to about the, they're going to give him no gain on that one. So third
and long here.
Jake McCartney checking into the game. Don't know if he'll factor into the plans like he did on the first touchdown. Here comes Josh Spokley with the play. We'll see what Josh has in mind here as the Raiders come up to the line.
Big 3rd down and 11, 9:20 and counting. Second quarter. Raider homecoming. Another pitch to the backfield. Nice blocking ahead. He will get some of it down to about the 15-yard line.
Looks like Caden took that down. Yeah, probably inside down to about the 14 really. So
4th and 4-ish.
Yeah, 4th and 5. Obviously, it's 2-down territory here, so we'll see what the Raiders can come up with here. Big play, though. And here comes Josh Spokley with the play.
They do make it 4th and 5 officially. We saw that rare pass a moment ago.
And we're going to see that again, except Spokley forced to keep it, trying to weave his way through the D.
He will be about 2 yards short.
Yep, he probably needed about the 9 or 10, and he ended up with the 11. So Pekin will take over on downs here. The good news is that did give those members of the defense a little bit of a blow, although you see, most of our line is still out there.
Kleiber looks like he's limping on the sidelines here as he comes off.
Yeah, moving a little ginger, trying to stretch it out maybe. The heat got a little warmer today than they thought. I think I saw a high of 84, 85. And normally when you see that, our boys are carrying around the gallon jugs around school filled with the Pedialyte and the Gatorade and all that fun stuff. But I don't think any of them had a chance to prepare like that today.
Roll to the right, across the middle of the field. That goes far side, completed.
I'll tell you what, that was a great job by Carson Kleiber to set the edge on that. But again, if we're having people step up and make that play, you've got to have somebody to scrape through and clean up that mess. And that's twice now where we've done exactly what we're supposed to do in the initial stages of that play, in the linebacking core, or even the corners and the safeties haven't been there to kind of clean that mess up. And when that happens, you get a completed pass.
Well, misdirection. They come towards us, down inside the 40-yard, past the 40-yard line to the 41.
That was a great sweep there, number 9. Number 9, Justin Morton on the carry there, and he had a full head of steam coming around that corner and a seam to boot. They did a nice job of sealing that off. Even with the minimum amount of blocking there, he had a tunnel, and he took it up to the 41. Jess back to pass, and again,
nice catch
simple pop
across
pass.
midfield. And the Dragons on the march again. We're waiting for the play to come in. We really seem to have this Raider defense on their heels.
We're going to get a flag there.
Motion.
Yeah, illegal motion, I think. False start. We'll take that as well. We are not discriminating when it comes to accepting penalties.
We will take it. Indeed. Not to go down a rabbit hole here, but I thought, man, if something doesn't epitomize Illinois football.
Yeah.
It was getting ready to tie up the football game on a 2-point conversion and then calling a timeout, killing your own momentum, and then getting a penalty. You have no opportunity when you commit a false start movement in the backfield on a 2-point conversion, and you're done.
Boy, that was some crafty misdirection there. I think I saw Raiders tackle 3 different Pekin Dragons, and Turned out it was the usual suspect, Sebastian Fuller, with the ball all along.
Fuller recovers that penalty, so it'll be 2nd and 10 back to the original line of scrimmage.
Still out of that shotgun, a spread formation.
Very spread.
Balanced. Boy, they
likes
are
that far side and just enough.
You know, he hasn't rolled to his left at all. I mean, it's very basic what they're doing, but boy, they are efficient with it. I mean, they haven't dropped one of those yet. It's just a little 5-yard out or a 5-yard pop, and it's been there every time.
Now they come this side. They hurt us, and another.
I think he took that as a
4 or
challenge.
5-yard completion, though. That moves the chains. That's more like a 10-yard completion. Down to the 32-yard line.
And that's our boy Elijah Henson right there. That's
who comes up
a little limpy.
He's
limpy
a little
there. Gimpy right now. Yeah, Henson's still not looking real sure of himself, limping up to the line there.
So, Dragons reset. Hash mark closest to us. Up the middle it goes, down to the 16-yard line.
And this is just the classic challenges of playing a spread offense team. You know, they're going to spread you out wide. They're going to overload you to sides and run away from that side. They're all about trying to get that defense spread out or unbalanced and then exploiting that difficulty. And that was a classic example right there. Spread them out 4 wide, all the routes in motion, and just a simple draw play.
Sweep this time to the right. Pick up a couple.
Little jet sweep there to number 11, Connor Eubanks. Like my colleague said, pickup of about 2. Jake Kleiber checking out now in favor of Derek Sparkman. So Josh Johnson trying to get his guys some breathers there.
Almost perpetual positive yardage. Outside of penalties, they have moved the ball.
They have not had a play go for negative yardage yet, I don't believe. Maybe one.
2nd and 8. Back up the middle it goes. And there is a stop.
Nice job by Joey Inman and Dalton Clicker. And I think I see Derek Sparkman down there piling things up. And that's how it's supposed to be done. You see, you know, Derek and Dalton getting off the ground there. I'm sure they got some version of a double team. One of them did anyway, and dropped to their knees and created the pile. And Joey there coming in from his linebacker spot was there to clean up the mess. That's a great example of how it should be done. And as a result, you're looking at 3rd and 8 right now.
3rd and long for one of the first times tonight for Pekin. Again out of that shotgun.
And we've got a stop of some sort.
Flurry of whistles and a timeout on the field. Timeout Raiders.
Josh Johnson going to burn his 2nd timeout of the half here.
Comes at the 5:02 mark left. Just an opportunity to regroup, and the stop here is certainly key going into the half.
Yeah, and you got to have a stop here. Ideally, you get a turnover. We'll take what we can get at this point, though, is you see Kevin Vidal there trying to fire up the troops. Great shot. I'm assuming that's from the top of the press box. Our outstanding cheer squad there under the leadership of Kayla Bone, first-year cheerleading coach.
Is the official texting is right there at the ball? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Might be at Devontae's. At the end of, nope, put the phone away. And we are ready to roll. Up the middle on the keeper.
Just going to keep it herself.
Oh, and almost in the backfield.
Yeah, just
almost
narrowly
tripped up.
missed it. And that was nothing more than trying to set Ghostman up for the kick. Just trying to get it to the middle of the field. Cuts it down. Well, it looks like maybe not. Looks like they're going to go for it. I thought Jess was honestly just trying to get Ghostman squared up. They're going to try to get it here. 4th and about 4, maybe a short 5.
So a big opportunity here for the Raider defense.
Jess is going to start under center. I guarantee he pulls out and tries to get a false start. There you go. Sometimes I scare myself with how ingenious I am.
It is quite scary. Whoa, that's a good call. If there were a Vegas bet on that, you'd do well.
All right, just like we said.
Oh, he dropped the football. Our first drop, and East Peoria is going to get the football back.
Huge stop there by the defense. Great job not to flinch when Jess got under center and then pulled out. See our dynamite chain crew, Chuck Nagel there dropping the sticks.
He does a nice job over there. He was on there a couple weeks ago.
You know what? Does a tremendous job. It's an all-conference chain crew led by one of the best superintendents in the state. He didn't fire me when I called him the stash this week in the staff skit. So, Lord bless him. He continues to tolerate me.
Continues to endure, apparently, yes. The Raiders here with some time, 4-13. You certainly want to move the ball forward, but you don't want to punch the ball back to Pekin.
Yeah, the end game here is a score right before the half and keep the ball out of Pekin hands going forward. I don't know if you're going to get it with that, and I fear Josh Johnson might have gone to his bag of tricks too soon there, but it did get us on the board even at 7. I'm certainly not criticizing Josh for that. I just don't know how many more tricks there are in the bag that have been consistently worked on, especially, I mean, we're not real, we're at the halfway point of the year. Typically there's still stuff you're putting in that genre. Yeah. There's Jake Lovell. I believe that's only his second carry tonight for someone who's been the Raiders' leading rusher. He's been awfully quiet, but there he comes in averaging 6.8 yards per carry and picks up just about that right there. We're going to be 3rd and 2 here with clock about to roll under 3 minutes probably by the time this play goes off.
So just as the Raider defense came up with a big play, Raider offense needing to keep the chains moving. They do not want to give Pekin the football back with still almost 3 full minutes left to play.
Well, and that's the issue. Even if you get off a 30, 40-yard punt, they're still taking over between the 40 and the 50. Josh with a really hard count there trying to get them to jump and just wouldn't do it. So Josh Johnson going to burn what I believe is his final timeout. Indeed, that is his final timeout. So the Raiders will have about 2 minutes to work, 76 yards with no timeouts. So we're going to have a couple big plays in here, some first downs to stop that clock and be efficient getting the plays in. You got to love Josh Johnson. He's so analytical about this. I think that was the most fired up I've ever seen him was early in the game when he was trying to get his defense's attention. But Josh is as smart as they come when it comes to, putting guys in the right places and doing things necessary to be successful. It reminds me a lot of the Rich Woods coaching staff in terms of his belief with, if you block this play right, it'll go for a touchdown. And the kids start to believe that. It's just a matter of executing.
Well, at the higher level, it's the Tony Dungy method of
that as well. You're absolutely right.
Execute and you have success. That didn't go the way the Raiders wanted that to go.
Sure did. Jacob Lavelle just couldn't get going. He's going to come. I mean, they're awfully close, 4th and 1.
But not worth the gamble at this point, so the Raiders will kick the ball back to Pekin.
No, unfortunately, we're not at that part of the field where you can take that gamble, even if, you think you can get it. It's going to be a dicey proposition, and you're probably going to waste some energy as is. Best bet here is to let the clock run down as far as you can and try to get this thing off as the 25-second clock runs down, although we kicked it with 17 there. So, well, now you got to hit him. I know that seems elementary in football, but
he picked it up.
Yeah,
well.
Exactly. As he let that roll, if he's going to do that, that's
the danger zone.
Yeah, you are meat for the beast at that point.
1:55. Dragons still have some time to try to add to this 19-7 lead.
And not a bad situation here for the Raiders. I mean, I envision that ending up much worse, but the fact that they're only going to start at about the 44 is not awful. This is doable here. We can get a stop here and get into halftime. The only bad part is Pekin does retain all 3 of its timeouts.
And we are ready. Officials all coming together for a quick huddle there.
Here comes Jess rolling to his left, and again, 5 yards and out. Just
Moves
nickel
the
and diming
chains.
the Raiders to death. Jake McCartney with a takedown there on Elijah Hinson.
I take that back. He's going to be a yard short. 2nd and 1.
Keep that clock running. I'm really surprised Doug Nutter didn't burn a timeout here. Unless he thinks he can get it. Goodness knows you can't take those the second half, though.
Rolls far side.
And that is going to be complete.
That will briefly stop the clock as they move chains.
As they get a reset there. They sent Jake Lavelle on a safety blitz there, and, well, maybe from the linebacker spot. Looked like he was in slot, kind of linebacker-cornerback hybrid there, but he just couldn't get to the quarterback in time. He had to weave through a couple linemen there as they rolled out and just came up a little bit short. Clock about to roll under a minute here.
Penalty again.
It's come on that same motion a couple different times now. Wow, except now it's on us.
Looked like a multitude of dragons in motion at that play,
Yeah,
too. So
I'm
people
not
moving
sure.
all over the place.
You know, that is the one thing I would like to see. I don't mind the no huddle, you know, without the huddle and the pauses, but you can't let them go under center and then backpedal out. Once you can go forward all you want to go from shotgun to under center, but you can't pull out like that once you get there. That signals the start of a play to me.
High snap.
Little counter here. Nice job by the defense. Trey Brabson hanging on for dear life, and Tyler Sharp coming up from his free safety spot to clean it up as well. Probably could have had Fuller a little deeper. A couple of our linemen just overshot it there on the draw play.
A little bit surprised here. Pekin has moved the ball well tonight, but they are not wanting to stop that clock and set anything up for
they have shown no
for another score here.
Middle screen right here, though, and that could be the one right there. Nice job by Tyler Sharp. Tyler Sharp saving a touchdown right there, going low on Dooley. 21 and a half seconds to go here in the quarter, and they're going to take a timeout finally.
They take their timeout down to the.
You know, on the downside here is now they're getting to that spot probably at about the 17-18 where Ghostman could kick a field goal. So, could be darned if we do, darned if we don't here. Could get the stop and still end up giving up points. Dalton Clicker coming out, the starting right guard for the Raiders. Looks like he's holding his right arm a little low, although he is using a thumb buckle as chin strap, so that's at least a bonus. He's a little banged up on the sidelines here, might be sucking some wind. Wow, Morton 21-0 over Dunlap according to the latest announcement. That is completely unexpected.
You know, I think that's another team that has, you know, like a couple of these teams in the Mid-Atlantic, a bit of a culture change there and people buying into a system.
Absolutely.
And I think better days are ahead for the Potters. It's their homecoming, too.
Speaking of scores, Washington 7-0 over Limestone with 3:52 to go in the half at our last update about 9 minutes ago. So,
not that you can tell who is who on Limestone, but they are hanging in with Washington.
Penalty there, it looked like. Maybe not, no.
Yeah, moved to 5 more yards, down to the 12-yard line. The line of scrimmage for the reset here. 21 and a half ticks left to go in the half.
1st and 5. And here comes the crossbuck sweep. And Fuller is going to take this one in.
Lane's down to 14-13. Clock keeps ticking. Time out. Pekin. They do use another one here.
Going to be 1st and goal from about the
5-ish, right at the 5-yard line. Well, obviously a big momentum opportunity here for both teams. You want to go into the locker room with some success, some positive moments in the game. And one of the two teams will have that here. 12.5 seconds left to go.
Absolutely. This gets to a 3-score game. That is awfully hard for a running team to overcome just because of the nature of how you're going to move the ball down the field.
The pass here, right? In theory, stop the clock with an incompletion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you've got four. Realistically, you probably got 2 to 3 shots at the end zone here if you're Pekin. If you're passing, maybe 2 if you're running. You do have 1 timeout left, so they've gone twins right with a tight end there. Jess going to roll to his right. Who's going to get? Oh, almost had a sack there. Another sack, and finally, Jacob Lavelle. I believe that was Jake. Let's see if they show him there. Yeah, number 25 there, Jacob Lovell. Great play by Jake to get a forearm on Jess's legs and just tangle him up.
Knocked him off balance enough. He went down.
Absolutely.
Biggest play of the game for the Raiders.
That's a 10-yard loss.
Comes as they were knocking on the door of another score.
Be interesting to see what Doug Nutter opts for here. He's got Ghostman. He's left-footed, so it's theoretically a little easier kick, I'm guessing.
I go Elijah Hansen.
Yeah, he's
Ghostman's kicked the ball out of bounds a couple times, missed an extra point.
To be fair, the extra point wasn't his fault.
True.
But yeah, that was a great play by Jake McCartney to get his hands on that. But I will give the Raiders credit here. Derek Spartman down there trying to fire guys up. Hopefully they've got one more stop in their bag of tricks here. Trey Brabson also trying to communicate some stuff down there as he spreads out here to cover a slot. Same formation, that twins right with a tight end and then out of the shotgun.
Raiders trying to get that pressure.
Wow,
that is
some
the pressure.
Heat there. Good. Oh, wow.
Snuck it in there.
Wow.
Touchdown Pekin.
And that was Elijah Henson, I believe, and he went up and just high-pointed that baseball. Jake Lovell on the blitz and just obliterated Brian Jess, but just a split second after he got rid of that ball. And unfortunately, I think we had a bit of a size differential.
Yeah, you just have that size mismatch. That's why we see all the success tight ends have had lately in the NFL. You just have that. It's a matchup nightmare.
You know, speaking of tight end success, I had the Giants' Larry Donnell on my roster last night and sat him.
Oh.
Yeah, ouch.
I grabbed the guy for, I lost 2 of my tight ends as an extra point is true here to basically season-ending injuries last week. So I took a gamble and got lucky, strangely enough. But at any rate, the Raiders here struggling. They'll reset here at halftime, and at homecoming 2014, the Dragons are on top 26-7.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
This year's competitive halftime show is entitled Pekin. East Peoria Community High School is proud to present drum makers Tyler Phillips and Allie Capatti and your East Peoria Marching Raiders.
So I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
And welcome back. We are ready for the second half. Homecoming on the docket for East Peoria tonight. Great crowd, a fantastic halftime performance by the band. And the Raiderettes and the flags and everything that was down there coordinating that event. It was nicely done.
With fireworks, no less.
And dramatic. I mean, there was drama and slow motion and people falling over and masked people, and it was quite wild and entertaining. And we have about 3 minutes left before we start things in the second half. But certainly a good first half for Pekin, a struggling defense for the Raiders, and just falling behind, as you mentioned, is a tremendous challenge for a team that runs and runs and runs the football.
Yeah, and the biggest thing with us is the lack of depth, and that was exacerbated last week at Dunlap with the 4 young men going down with knee injuries. So you've got that working against you, and then you've got a team that operates primarily out of the spread. And while it's not a true no huddle, we're not dealing with an Oregon-style offense trying to run a play every 12 seconds. There still isn't much huddling. You still have to be prepared and shut it down. And
it's tough to minimize those injuries when you struggle with depth and just the ebb and the flow and the familiarity that you start to gain with each other, and that is gone when you lose a player, let alone 3-4 players in any given evening, and it really throws off your not only how winded you become physically, but just the familiarity you have established at this point in the season.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do want to give the kids credit down there, the tribe, for sticking around through this and trying to bring them back. You see Drew Trow and Jack Barth and Bryce Markham, and I think that's Cy Ingles and a few of the other kids down there, Dom Shank. And so good for those kids for sticking around and bringing the school spirit. Hopefully they can push the Raiders back a little bit. I do have to say I'm a little concerned about Drew Trow wearing a pair of 1980s basketball shorts.
Perhaps an auction item. And
do we
auction those off?
Well, there's the closet sale every
that's what I'm
2-3 years.
That does come out.
Yeah, that was. I distinctly remember cleaning out that.
The only advantage that provides is, thank goodness we don't use those anymore.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
a good historical lesson right there before us.
You know what? The kids all love that until you bring those out and say that's what we're going to play in this year, and then there's a revolt. Where's Matt Wright? I need to suggest that. Maybe that'll end that fad real quick.
Might stop it quickly.
Nip that in the bud. Oh.
I wonder whatever became of when East Peoria briefly tried to go with that Georgia Tech yellow, and they got I would call it a baby poop brown look to the uniform, and those were rough, and those did not last, and they wore them for a few home games.
That was like the Vershaw Jenkins years, wasn't it?
Yeah, those years, yes.
They were like the first ones to get the alternate uniforms. I remember that.
They were, as Charles Barkley would say, terrible. They were
terrible.
Those were not good. But somewhere, perhaps in third world countries across the vast land of ours,
it's probably not. It's probably a third world closet at the high school. I'm not sure.
Didn't get that far.
Yeah, it's somewhere in A building. Those are lurking. Those might be what are haunting A building for all we know.
Or cleaning A building.
Yeah, that too.
We are ready, Raiders.
Ghostman might have kicked this one out of bounds again. Oh, but we fumbled it.
Lost the football, and Pekin got it back to start the second half. Golden opportunity for a momentum shift. Nice little drive. Get the Raiders back in the game, and a quick turnover. Things have happened quickly to start the second half. Things happen quickly to start the ball game.
And that is true, and that, if they score right here, this is you're down and out right now. I do notice that we've made a small change, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's Caden DeVos at nose tackle, all 160 pounds of him. Along with Derek Sparkman, you can see the obvious size differential right there.
Yeah, very much so.
And they ran right at Caden, right over his gap, and I'm sure that's what the delay was, as they tried to audible that a little bit. And I love Caden DeVos. He's a great kid, but he just doesn't have the size to play right there right now.
First down, Pekin.
The only undersized player I've seen be able to play nose guard like that in the middle line at that size is Kenny Robertson, and he's now a professional MMA fighter. So that's a little different.
Little athleticism and power there.
Yeah. Fuller around
Certainly
the end.
Oh,
goodness gracious.
Jarred the ball loose out of bounds.
Tyler Sharp with a bell ringer. Holy cow. Sebastian Fuller. That ball was, he didn't just fumble that. That ball was just out. Like he briefly lost his bearings there for a second.
Positive yards, positive yards, positive yards for Pekin. 7 more on that run.
Yeah, they are just chewing up the Klatt Stadium turf here. And this one's a little jet sweep, and
he is going to punch it into the
no trouble at all.
Far left corner of the end zone. Pay dirt for the Dragons, and they extend the lead.
They're running that. It's a jet sweep crossbuck. You're bringing the guy in motion, and of course everybody wants to account for that guy who's going to have the head of steam. And a couple times they've had success giving it to Fuller. Going the opposite direction of the jet sweep, and then a couple times they've had success giving it to Morton. So we'll have to see if we can account for that, but things are starting to get dire right now at 33-7, just 11 or 38 seconds into this second half. Almost another block kick there by the Raiders on the plus side. Trey Brabson getting through.
Ghostman punches it through, though, 33-7. A lot of football left to go. Well, we use the phrase reset. It is a reset, but you're down another touchdown here. Raiders get the football right back, but this is not the position you want to be in. at this point in your homecoming.
No, not at all, not at all. And you really hope that the kids just aren't, losing faith a little bit here. Last weekend obviously didn't go the way we wanted it to go out in Dunlap, and now you hope that the kids can kind of put this back together a little bit, and now you're trying to learn positives, trying to take stuff going forward. We're going to try some new stuff, try some kids out at different positions like we did with Caden DeVos there. I think Caden could be real successful maybe as an end. And that nose tackle spot, obviously, anytime you go from playing kind of a hybrid outside linebacker / cornerback, there's a lot to learn when you slide over to nose tackle.
But I think that goes back again to the injuries, where you want to be familiar enough to let instinct take over instead of be thinking where you're supposed to be and where.
Yeah, exactly.
And that momentary hesitation can often result in 5-6 yards being picked up because you're late to get to your spot. The Raiders will maintain possession here, and they will start with the football offensively for the first time to start the second half, 45 seconds into the third quarter.
Have to see what Josh Johnson wants to do here. Typically, you might see a little air under the football. And they are splitting Jake McCartney out there a little wider than he has been, so that would be a good indicator that that's coming. Otherwise, they're sticking with the broken bone look there.
Not a lot up the middle.
Trey Brabson, some hard running right there. Boy, there's
but that second,
6-7
effort,
white hats around him there. And he still carried that pile a good 3-4 yards after first contact.
Punches it across the 41-yard line. A good 6 yards after getting stopped almost at the line of scrimmage. Carried that ball forward.
Absolutely.
2nd and 4 it is. Clock rolls. Raiders seem composed. They're just sticking with the game plan a little bit at a time. They'll take 6 yards at a pop for sure.
And I don't want to say that this game has been written off at all, but they're going to keep doing what they're doing and try to hone that a little bit more. Now you're going to see Spokley. Boy, our pass pro has just not been real strong all night. And
miscommunication. You can see the frustration there of who had the coverage.
Josh a little upset there with his defenders. But anytime, I'm sure, I don't know how much time they devote to pass protection in practice, but I can assure you it's probably not as much as they devote to the run blocking schemes, and that's what happens. I played in a similar offense in high school, and we pass blocked maybe 4 or 5 times a game, and the rest of the time you were firing out and looking for somebody to get a hat on. So it's a difficult change for players. There we go. Trey Brabson shaking the tackle.
Breaks a tackle on 3rd and 12. He's going to pick up more than enough for the first down across midfield.
Nice job by Trey. Great job by Justin Doty to get downfield there too and create some room for him.
That's where you're just that sheer athleticism at some point is going to play dividends. Size is certainly relevant up front.
Absolutely. Seeing Devin Warwick now in the game. He's jumped in there at I believe that's got to be Kleiber's spot at the guard. Yeah, that is. He's lining up next to Derek Sparkman. Makes me wonder if Jake Kleiber may not be out for this game. That would explain Carson or Caden DeVos's appearance at nose guard there.
Stop for a loss on that play.
Bryce, that hole closed awful quick. I saw where he was trying to go, and it was only there for a brief minute.
We'll say that he got back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10.
I'm looking for number 64 down there on the sideline, even if he's in streets, and I'm just not seeing it.
And you could tell the longer that half progressed, the more uncomfortable he was.
Yeah.
Physically.
Spokley back to pass again. Decent protection this time, although Josh has to get rid of that a little bit.
Tuck it up and under and picks up about 3 yards on the play. This will be 3rd and 7-ish.
The one downside, Josh is not the tallest kid around. I think we list him at a very generous 6 foot. Probably more in the
this might be a bit generous.
Yeah, the 5'10" range in cleats. But, you know, it's so, especially as these linemen have gotten so big in the middle line. I mean, heck, you know, he's trying to throw over Derek Sparkman, who's 6'5" on his own. So he's one of his own guys, let alone some of the kids that Pekin has.
Mm-hmm. Give
Nice job by
another
Trey.
second effort. Trey's got a
Ball on the turf there, I
momentum.
couldn't tell. And that was a great job by Trey. You know, that number 79 there for Pekin. I think that's number, let's see, what did I say? Mason Hunt, who goes 6'4", 300. He did a nice job of piling that up right there. But Trey just doing a great job of working off that read and making the cut that he needed to.
So with the run, brings up 4th down and 3, a manageable 4th and 3 here for East Peoria, who have put together a nice little drive here. They've been getting some positive yardage. And they spread things out more than normal, and we have a timeout.
Josh really
East
adamant he wanted a
Peoria.
timeout there.
Didn't like what he saw.
Well, he did
Or
have,
maybe wanted to change things up.
he had sophomore tight end Jacob Thaler split out wide, and that is not somewhere we've seen Jake before. So I don't know if there was some confusion there, because I think he was looking right at, or not looking right at Jake, but trying to get his attention.
So they will reset. And I know we're not to continue to beat that drum, but if you're short going into the game and then lose a couple more guys in the locker room at halftime, then you are certainly throwing some new kids in there that are just double checking who's where. And
Now this is interesting. Jake Kleiber is back in the game. Now he's at,
okay,
they're flipping their tackles.
they are on the other side now.
Yeah, Derek Sparkman now at right tackle. And Jake Kleiber sliding over to the left tackle spot. So I guess that would mean he took Dalton Clicker's spot on the line, because there's Devin Warwick still in there.
Here's
Give
the
us to
run.
Jake Lavelle, and that's a great
Lavelle
job.
is gonna pick up the first down to the 29-yard line. A nice run to move the chains for East Peoria on 4th down and 3.
You know, and that's something we've seen a lot more of. You'll notice that side went to the side that we had mentioned Derek Sparkman had flipped to, and you're seeing a lot of that. It's no longer right tackle, left tackle. It's strong tackle and weak tackle. University of Illinois used that a lot with a kid from this area, Michael Heights, who grew up in Astoria about 50 miles west of here. And he was the swing tackle in that, they call that. So it's not uncommon. Sparkman going to stay on the right side this time. We'll see if they run behind him again. And they most certainly will. Could have sworn I heard a whistle there, but
Did seem like a lot of whistles. Three-yard pickup on the play. 2nd down, 7. Clock keeps rolling here. 6:40 left to go with third quarter.
and they did run again behind Sparkman. There are some tired boys in that huddle. You can see it. The heads are rolling back. They're trying to get all that clean oxygen they can.
Another switch on the line here.
Now they're going to double Jake Kleiber and Derek Sparkman up. Well, whatever works, I'm all for it, 100%.
Another 3-yard gain.
And that's keep them moving. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That keeps those chains moving.
So 3rd and 5 officially. Surprised we haven't heard Lavelle's name more tonight. May see more of that even on this drive.
Yeah.
A little pitch in the backfield.
That pitch just hasn't been there tonight. Bryce is looking. He's trying to extend the play as much as possible, but just no room there.
Pekin just in that backfield. You're right. So 3rd and 5-ish becomes 4th and 9. That's tough running play, 4th and 9. So we'll see what the Raiders come up with here as we wind down to 5 minutes left to go in the quarter. Pekin comfortably on top here, 33-7. A beautiful evening for football. Here's a snap. It is going to be a pass. Deep.
Nice pass by by
over the
Josh,
head
just overshot him a little bit.
of the intended receiver, and we do have a penalty on the play.
That's in the area of a hold there on the pass pro. Personal foul on the Raiders.
Attempt to McCartney, obviously.
They're asking Pekin what they want to do with this. Obviously would take the penalty and reset it, I believe. Third down. I'm betting Pekin takes this.
Yeah, got coaches out on the field and players talking to officials, and they will decline the penalty because they get the football back.
Penalty will be declined. We have a Buick Regal. License plate R230489. Brian or Amanda Smallberger. If your vehicle is not moved, it will be towed.
Doug Nutter still out there on the field.
I'm not sure what that was all about. I'm not sure what that call was. It was a personal foul. Something about blow to the head maybe, or maybe the head slap on the pass pro. I don't know what that was, but a little costly there for the Raiders as they will have to give the ball back to Pekin here with 4:46 to go in the third.
So Pekin back in business.
Still some new numbers on that line. You see number 52, Austin Keena, getting in there.
That was the best penetration East Peoria's had in a bit.
And there's Austin and Justin Doty on the tackle. So
on the tackle in the backfield. Loss of yardage. We haven't said that too often tonight. Second down, 13. A nice start to this drive defensively for East Peoria. 4:28 and counting.
linebackers still largely the same. I do see number 20 there, Chris Hendricks, in kind of that hybrid role. And Justin Doty now playing a stand-up end.
Raiders on the blitz, and that's going to open things up for a huge run. And he is on the verge of coast to coast, and he will break the tackle and take it in for the touchdown. That is Connor Eubanks, number 11.
There it was on the jet sweep again.
And that kind of summarizes the evening for the Raiders. They had a chance in the backfield, not quite quick enough, and then one last opportunity for a touchdown-saving tackle, and a broken tackle punches it into the end zone.
It was a great blitz call, and really, you know, had every chance to work. But again, they ran to the side where you've got a smaller junior in it on the line and a new senior. So
high snap, flailing throw is going to be knocked down.
Caden DeVos knocking that ball down, almost had the pick.
2-point conversion, or the 1 point, I don't know what that really was. It was technically
That's
a kick,
conversion.
but it was not a
yeah.
successful conversion. 39-7, a wonky score, but not in favor of the Raiders here for homecoming 14. 3:59 left to go, third quarter.
Starting to see Josh Johnson get some new faces in there. Still see Warwick, number 28. Number 28, Clayton O'Brien in there. Clayton's a sophomore. Number 30, Kyle Ball, who's a senior. I think I see number 8, Ryan Walton out there. I don't know if that's 35 or not. Noah Horning. I think it is.
So Pekin will kick off to East Peoria. Raider faithful sticking around. You mentioned it at halftime. They are staying down there cheering on their Red Raiders tonight.
Ghostman trying a new tactic. He's going to start from the other side, and that works out pretty well.
Slightly better. He's inbounds.
Carson Allen, who had the big kickoff return against Streeter in week 1 to save the game, takes it out to about the 30.
30-31-ish, and the Raiders will start with the football one more time, trying to cut into this lead.
You know, speaking of the kids down there and sticking around, it's been a really cool week at school. The kids have been really into it. The variety show was a blast on Wednesday night, and the pep rally today was Just about as much fun as I've had at one of those in my 5 years here. So we talk a lot about changing the culture here at East Peoria and trying to get these kids to buy in and believe, and it's happening slowly but surely, but it's a process, and it's going to take the entire community to get behind it. Give him 4 there. Jake Lovell on the carry.
Yeah, we talked about that. It's a microcosm level of a sports team when you come in with a new coaching staff and
sure,
trying to change just that group of 12 kids and those parents and grandparents and people that are raising kids today. And it is at a community level. It is a willingness to just, be positive.
And there's got to be a support system. There's got to, and that not just the sports, or anything. It's got to be the people, the right people in place that are, supporting these kids, urging them. Lovell with another nice carry there, and you see the Raiders continue to flip that line. I think I see number 51 in there on the line now. Number 51, that's Derek Sparkman, duh. Momentary brain lock there, folks. My apologies.
So bring up a 3rd down and 3. Which is about what we have averaged per run on the last couple of drives. Stopped in the backfield this time, though.
Number 22, Lucas Campbell on the carry there, his first carry of the night.
He didn't have a chance there.
Did not.
As soon as he touched the football.
That sweep probably needs to get thrown out for the night since it's not gone well. Derek Sparkman coming out. We're going to have our first actual punt, or second punt of the night for East Peoria. Clock running under 2 minutes now to go in the third, 1:55. A little better kick by Jake this time.
It's going to get a good bounce. He's going to pick it up and try to run this one back. Jumps over a couple of Raiders, and he's still on his feet. Punches it across the 40, 45-yard line.
Justin Doty lost his footing there, did a somersault. Got right back up, rolled right onto his feet, and took a dive at I believe that was Dooley's ankles. Got to give it to Justin Doty. That was the Purple Heart Award right there for going all out on that play.
Effort, yes. So $1:40 left to go, third quarter.
Carson Kleiber coming off a little slow for the Raiders. We'll see if he's all right and goes back in. I hope so. Keena's still in there at one defensive end, Doty at the other. Those Raider linebackers still trying to find their comfort spot. I do notice they're playing Doty straight up now as kind of a third linebacker, or fifth linebacker, rather.
Yeah, quarterback keeper right up the middle of the football field. Up to the middle of the football field, right at the 50-yard line. I'll make her back to the 40, 49-yard line.
See what the Raider line can do here.
High snap again. He's going to keep it taken left.
Just a great play fake by Jess. That was huge.
Clock rolls, chains move.
You saw Justin Doty crash down on that play, and he took out Fuller. But that's one of those where Fuller looks at him and goes, I don't have the ball, man. Just a great ball fake by Jess, and that's what you need running that read option. Reading that defensive end, and if he crashes hard on that running back, you're just pulling that ball and going to the spot he vacated.
Same
keeper. Same play, same read option.
Same direction, still on his feet.
Keeping his
Second,
feet.
Third tackle broken.
Nice job by Carson Allen to clean that up, but some hard running there by Brian Jess. You don't normally associate that with a quarterback, but he made up some yards after contact there.
Yeah, he's going to get it down to the 25-yard line. We'll see if we run one more play in the quarter or not. But Pekin, more of the same. They are running the ball with success, passing the ball with some success, and they lead this one 39-7. We wind it up, and no one seems real intent on snapping the football here. So we will conclude quarter number 3. Homecoming Pekin trying to spoil it for East Peoria. They lead at 39-7, and we'll be back with a fourth quarter after this on Eastside Community Television.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. We are ready for the fourth and final quarter. Pekin finding success in whatever they do tonight. They have had a solid start to the game. Started quickly, and it has maintained foot to the gas offensively for the Pekin Dragons, and they lead this one 39-7, and they just continue to find ways to move the chains.
That they do, you know. And they've been real successful with, just a variety of counters and sweeps and all the other trickery that you kind of see out of formations like this. You know, the read options become immensely popular, first at the college level, and now it's spread to the pros, and now it's come back to the high school level a little bit. But starting to see some new faces in there for Pekin as well. Jess still in there under center, though, and he's going to draw us offside. First things first, Austin Keena, the senior that we just talked about checking in the game, little eager there, and that's not the first time Brian Jess has been able to do that tonight.
That's the third time, at least tonight, we've had a first and 5 given to Pekin.
And again, that's just a case of him, getting under center, and the minute you see that heel go, that's when a lot of guys, they should be watching the ball, but they aren't. And here goes Fuller.
Breaking more tackles and spinning his way down to the 6.
I mean, that's just such a low center of gravity there.
A bowling ball coming through there.
I mean, he slipped that, I think that was, I didn't catch the number. It looked like maybe Justin Doty or Bryce Sandoval, one of our taller kids, but he slipped that tackle like it was just a little duck of his head. He almost turtled.
Flag comes out as they set things up as Boris snaps. We'll wait and see what that is. Wind up offsides. That was kind of a quick offsides penalty. They had no chance to get in the right position after.
Yeah, that was give to a newcomer in the Pekin backfield. I think that's number 42. That is Isaiah Vignasi. If I'm not mistaken, that is the nephew of one of our former teacher's aides / Academic Resource Center leaders, Amanda Vignasi. So I'm sure Miss V is over there somewhere. Hope she's doing well after getting her teaching degree. So good to see Isaiah out here. I know he's spent some time around the EP kids, and this time Isaiah's going to be the lead blocker for Fuller, and Fuller is going to find
punch
Pater
it into the end zone. And it is up to a 45-7 lead. So there are times in football where the final score doesn't necessarily indicate the game, but this is a game where, unfortunately for East Peoria, the score is indicative of Pekin's success running and passing the football.
This is going to be something that I fear we'll struggle with the rest of the year. Just our lack of depth, and it's a darn shame because this group, these 11 are very talented, but just asking them to play two ways full time in the middle line is just a recipe for struggles.
Particularly the longer you go into the season, and
absolutely.
That's just the reality of once you hit that mid-line ice season, and there are no slouches. We have improvement across the board. I think Limestone seems to have last year coming out and winning a bunch of ball games, and I think Morton's on the right track. I think East Peoria's on the right track, but there aren't any gimmies in the middle line.
You know, it's something you see from time to time when there are so many, you know, just dominant programs and conferences that it takes everybody a little while to catch up, and sometimes those programs at the top maybe come back to the pack a little bit too. But it's such a when you bring up the level of play like that and nobody falls off, then it's really it's
You're
just
right.
more of the
Yep.
same. It's a murderer's row every time out, and that's the Middle Illini has been known as that for years at the top end, but now the lower tier has caught up as well, and now it's just Katie bar the door darn near every weekend.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Pekin ends up doing. I mean, they're a couple of defensive stops away from going into this
absolutely
part of the season undefeated.
Yeah, and that's been their big thing tonight, and they surely appear to have fixed the defense a little bit. Little pooch kick here.
Picked up at the 20, across
Carson
the 30,
Allen there again.
going up to the 35, 36-yard line of East Peoria, with 10 minutes and 42 seconds left in the football game tonight.
I am kind of surprised we haven't seen them put Carson on that speed sweep yet that we've been trying to run with Sandoval, and I think we tried to run it a couple times with number 22, Lucas Campbell, as well. Carson's a sprinter on the track team. This is his, if I'm not mistaken, first year out for football, but he's certainly got the jets to maybe find that corner. Starters stay in.
I know you bring up a good point. I mean, what do you do coaching-wise? Would you continue to just work on perfecting the techniques of your typical offense, or do you take the opportunity to try some different things here at this point in the contest?
Well, that was a little different.
Nice.
The Trey Brabson was lined up at a running back spot instead of his traditional fullback spot. He came out of a two-point stance there, so nothing wrong with trying that either. Maybe giving Trey a little more time to see the hole and find that cut, because that's certainly the kind of runner he is. He's a one-cut and get downhill guy, so if you can spring him a little bit there, all the better.
6-7 yard pickup on that first handoff of this drive. Second down and short, 2nd and 3. Little pitch in the backfield. He's going to come right
Lucas
side.
Campbell,
and
I believe.
is plugged up pretty quickly. Picked up maybe a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for East Peoria. Under 10 minutes left to go. And back to the line they come.
Have not seen Jake McCartney split out wide. I don't know if he's among the walk-in wounded right now. I see Tyler Sharp and Bryce Sandoval down there trying to get breathers. Nice job by Josh Spokley on the ball fake. Unfortunately, that play just got strung out a little bit. Yeah.
Flag comes in at the end, and you just
That
see
might be a
Pekin's got
face
some
mask.
speed. Yeah, it's in that area.
I don't think they would have gotten Sparkman for a hold there. Nope, sure enough.
Holding against the Raiders.
The time that came in, it did seem to be at the end of the very,
It was very late,
end of the play.
and all I know is Derek Sparkman ended up on the turf, so I have a hard time believing he was holding as
It
he
was
was.
an unsuccessful penalty if you're going to grab somebody.
I have a hard time believing Derek did that. He's too big to throw to the turf. He's about the biggest darn kid in the Middle Illini, and 2, it'd be virtually impossible to hold as you are falling down. So, but it's to err is human, and the referees certainly are that. So
they'll reset, make it 3rd and 12, 13 technically on the scoreboard. I think it's 3rd and 12, but 9 minutes left in this contest. Play comes in. The Raiders down to 7 seconds, and
yeah, that took a long time to come in, and Josh Spokley didn't run that in either. He's trying to get
they're
it
going to
off.
have to get a timeout after that. Play clock approaches the big 0, and rather than taking that penalty at this point of the football field.
On the plus side, I did see Carson Allen there, number 2, lined up at a wingback spot, so maybe that speed is coming into play now.
See if they go back to that same setup here coming out of the timeout. They've had some nice uses of the timeout. I know it's always a challenge of when to take those and what you want to set up, but they've been successful in a couple of defensive stops coming out of a timeout.
Absolutely, and that just tells you what kind of knowledge that Josh Johnson has about the game. He's not inexperienced. He's got a ton of football savvy, It's just sometimes dealing the hand you're dealt. Now, you see Jacob Thaler split wide out here to the right, coming back in a little bit toward the hash mark, but still on a number. Totally out of your picture right now, but I assure you, Jacob Thaler is probably 5 yards from the sideline right now.
Pitch in the backfield.
And they are going to run that pitch again, this time to
blockers,
Campbell.
Too many white shirts.
And he's going to get brought down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 4th and 15.
That's where speed is to your advantage until you outrun your blockers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of those things where if you are that speedy guy, you're looking to hit that. You got to hit that probably within 5 yards of the box.
Faster to the, yep. Low punt.
Oh, a little bobble there.
Picked up, looking for a seam, and he's hit hard by a slew of Raiders and brought down with authority. 8:01 left to go in this contest. Raiders continue to fight.
And that is 100% true. These kids have by no means given up. I mean, it would be real easy to roll over and play dead right now, but you're still seeing these kids give everything they've got. You are seeing some new numbers in there. See number 74, Joey Tello checking in. He's a freshman, 6 foot 220. So keep an eye on him, see what he can do there.
That was a hard hit. I mean, that was a move your helmet, double check what day of the week it is, kind of a hit.
Absolutely. Joey Tello going to be at the 3 technique just to the left there. Caden DeVos at nose tackle. Keep an eye on him right there, see what he can do.
Mostly up the middle,
They
forward
ran
momentum.
right at him.
Brings the ball out closely approaching middle field. Hiller up to the 50-yard line. Make it the 46. Pick up a 4 on the play.
Clock's still running here under 7.5 minutes.
You see, certainly, not expediency, but Pekin is a little more methodical at this point in the contest.
Absolutely. And Doug Nutter's not the kind of guy to run it up. He's not trying to put his foot on the gas here. They're going to run the ball. You know, Doug's a real...
Keep it in the middle of the field.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to try anything fancy. Ton of respect for Doug Nutter, especially with what he started out at. He started out a little program called Midland out in Varna, where he was lucky to have enough kids to field a football team some years. And there was a 4-school co-op between them, Sparland, Low Point, Washburn, and somebody. It was just unreal. And even with all those kids in those schools, it was a 4A school that was, no school had more than about 100 kids, 100, 200 kids in it. So, might have had a ball on the turf there. It looked like he lost a little bit as he was going down. It was number 32 for Pekin, Michael Dickey. And I saw Noah Horning, and number 28, Clayton O'Brien, in on that stop as well. Just couldn't quite get him to cough it all the way up as the Dragons cross midfield.
5-yard pickup will make it 2nd and 5.
Do see that Pekin is subbed in now. Number 8, Nick Campbell at the quarterback spot. He's a junior, taking snaps now. Still some of the regular linemen in. And there goes Vignasi up the middle.
He's going to pick up about 7 yards on the play down to the 35-yard line. That'll move chains.
It will. Absolutely.
We mentioned it before. It's not a complicated scheme. It's a matter of hitting the timing, the holes when you need to, when the blockers are there and everybody in the position they're supposed to be in. So not a lot of razzle-dazzle out of either one of these ball clubs.
Not at all. In fact, I've been kind of surprised with how basic Pekin's been in the past. Nutters ran a very intricate aerial system, and their balance and just the basicness of their aerial offense has really surprised me tonight. Coming in, Jess, was something like 57 for 91, so they were putting it up, an average of 20, 22 times a game. But I can remember games Doug Nutter coaching where the ball went in the air 60, 70 times a game.
It's remarkable to see at this level.
He ran it fast at they called that co-op River Valley out there in Varna. He did good work.
4-yard pickup makes it 2nd down and 6, and penetration into the backfield
nice
this time.
Nice job by Caden
Nicely
DeVos
done.
and Tello there. Stuffed that one up pretty quick.
So the clock winds again. 4:35 left to go. A lot of conversation with the centers and referees in this game.
Yeah, and part of that, I think, is them trying to control that no huddle. That's part of the reason you're not seeing a lot of quick snap by Pekin. You know, that there's been a word put out, you know, if they're going to run this type of offense, you still have to maintain the game. And that's something the officials are very nice job there by Austin Keena. Great job by the senior back up there to get in the backfield and drag him down.
So 4th and 11 here with 3:55 and counting. Not sure what the delay is here, but we'll pause.
I think Pekin's trying to run some folks in and out.
Everything's moving, clock's moving, play clock's moving. 4th down, 11. And the give is to the left. Raiders come up with a defensive stop. Raider faithful continue to cheer them on, and they will get the football back. East Peoria getting the football back here with 3:18 left to go.
Well, that might explain why Canton struggled a little bit in the opening quarter or the opening half at Metamora. Their leading rusher, Quentin Reed, was suspended for the opening half. So they went into the half down 35-14 because they didn't have their best offensive player.
That is a hole. How are they doing in the second half? Any update on the second half?
No, nothing yet. I think they're just getting underway. Speaking of a hole, though, nice job by Lucas Campbell. Hit that one hard.
Up to the 39-yard line.
That's the way it's supposed to be run right there. There was a phalanx of black jerseys around him as he hit that hole.
A what now?
A phalanx.
I like that.
Trying to broaden my vocabulary.
That's good.
My wife's fancy. I gotta keep her impressed.
I'm going to have to remember that.
She's what we call edumacated.
I wouldn't have known what a phalanx was without the context of that statement, so I'm learning something here.
And to be honest, I could have completely misused it. The English department's probably plotting my death somewhere, but...
Taking notes on proper grammar usage.
Angie Pittman will just softly knock on my door on Monday and go, we need to talk. Saw a carry there by Carson Allen, trying to get that speed and gear, and just no phalanx that time.
No phalanx indeed. But we got a yard out of it. It's 3rd and 4 here with 2 minutes left to go in the contest. I'm reminded, speaking of rabbit holes, of calling a ball game many, many years ago on a homecoming, and my broadcast partner at the time, Steve, announcing that we were approaching the 2-minute warning. I said, well, that would be true if indeed high school football had a 2-minute warning. So that was a typical result of broadcasting those days. So
we don't go down rabbit holes much, do we?
We do not ever go down rabbit holes of Canadian water globes of any kind.
I was waiting on your trivia for today.
I did not bring trivia today.
That was disappointing.
That was a basketball. I got a $1.33 left to. I need a timeout though.
Pull up your smartphone. Ooh, nice job by Jacob Lavelle there. Second effort.
Downfield, pick up about 5 yards on the play.
Actually, about 10. Actually, he's going to come up with a first down there.
Yeah, they will make it closer to that first down marker.
That second effort did him some good there.
So a minute left to go in the contest. Stellar job by our crew once again. Some fine camera work. A little better evening for them to endure.
Absolutely.
The heights and spaciousness of the stadium.
Absolutely. First down, going to briefly stop the clock here. They'll get it rolling right now. And yet it still hasn't stopped. Still giving the signal to wind it.
Yeah, I have a random non-sports related trivia fact for you.
Oh, boy.
The color of Oscar the Grouch in season #1 of Sesame Street.
Yellow.
You're very close. He was orange. He was indeed orange the first year and turned green.
Was it the oxidation?
It was. He went to the swamp and got dirty, I believe, was the justification of changing colors.
Outstanding.
So there you go. 20 seconds left to go in this contest. Raiders.
Being as though I'm a huge Jim Henson fan and the Muppets, I love that piece of trivia.
Well, I'm glad I could pull that out for you with 10 seconds left to go in the game. 46-7, that'll wrap us up for tonight. Not the way the homecoming result was anticipated here for the Raiders, but a constant effort of just sticking to it and doing whatever they could do to try to cut into that lead. And, a couple of big plays, and you never know what direction this football game may have gone, especially early in this contest.
Absolutely. The boys will just have to go back to the drawing board this week and go over to Canton and see what we can get done over there.
Get healthy. Come back for
Amen
more
to
next
that.
week. All right, well, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We will catch you next time. Final score once again, 46-7. Pekin, that is off the board, and we are out of here. So, again, great job with the crew, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.